If you do not know cell referencing, that's relative and absolute referencing, you can never be good with Excel functions. Now, let me show you how. Here, we're going to use the example of a multiplication table. This multiplication table is just up to 5 here and 5 here. And it's like a matrix. So what we actually want to do, we want Excel to, like tell us this cell multiplied by this cell, what will be the answer. Now, when you click it, you're going to get 1, and true. 1 times 1 is 1. Now, the relative and absolute referencing in Excel makes it possible for us to, enter a formula in one cell, and then you can copy that formula. You can replicate it into other cells. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to just come here, select the cell I want to copy and the cells I want to copy into, and I'm going to press the Ctrl D here. So Ctrl D copies it down for us, and so we have this. Clearly, you would see that 4 times 1 is not 24. What we wanted to happen here is 1 multiplied by 4, and that should give us 4 here, but we're having 24 here. So we're going to investigate why this is happening. The first thing we're going to do is take any of this wrong one and try to find out what is the problem. So while I'm in here, I'm going to just click on my formula bar here, and we're going to see the colors, and we're going to see the colors they represent here. So what is really happening here is that 4 is correct because it picks 4 as what it wants to multiply, but it's saying 4 multiplied by 6. That is not what we want to do. So you can see that Excel is always correct. 4 multiplied by 6 is 24, but that's not what we want it to do. Now, what has Excel done? Excel has used relative referencing here. So when you copy this down, relative referencing is the default reference in Excel, and that is what works. Now, what do I mean by relative referencing? In this first cell, we told it multiply the value that is 1 cell above and 1 cell to the left. 1 cell above, 1 cell to the left. That is what Excel copies in its mind and then replicates that. 1 cell above multiplied by 1 cell to my left-hand side. Okay, and it continues this 1 cell above me and 1 cell to the left hand side. Now that's actually not what we want. We desire this blue reference to always remain here. So what do? We have to come back to this, our first formula, and then we have to do something to the blue reference. Now in the blue reference, you've got a C and the number 7, so C7, and that is the address for this cell. Now, if you look at it, this is 7 here, and then you have C here. So the intersection between a column and a row is a cell, and their references is used. So you have the column reference coming first before the row reference coming next. So the question is, we need to make it absolute. What do we make absolute here? So we need to look at it very well. We see that when we copied down, we were moving across rows. And that movement across rows was causing a problem. That's what caused this problem you have here. So I'm going to go back and lock the row reference. The row reference is always a number. So you're going to go before what you want to lock. I want to lock the row. So I'm going to click just before 7, and I'm going to put a $sign. So a $sign indicates that you have locked that reference. So the row reference in this formula is no longer relative, but now absolute. So I'm going to hit my enter button, and I'm going to copy it down. So Ctrl D, and then you see that everything just works fine. Now, since we've gotten this, Excel is programmed in such a way that we should be able to copy everything to our right hand side, and then we get our answers. Copy it like this and get our answers. And that is what Excel is all about. I should be able to write a formula in one cell, replicate it in any other either column or rows, and it would work fine. But right now you see that it's not doing the right thing. 5 times 5 is not 600. You get it. But what is it doing? Again, we are faced with another challenge that would help us to see referencing better. Now, let's go to any one that's wrong. This is wrong. 3 times 1 is wrong. And then we just click here and see what's happening. Now, we are able to see the red reference, that the red reference has a problem. So it is saying, you know, when we wrote it, we say that it should just do one cell above and one cell to our left hand side. But by the time we came here, it shifted. Can you see? We wanted to look here, but it went one column further. And when we came here, it went one column further. It was here, it moved here, it is here now, and it is moving across columns. When it moves across columns, chances are that a column needs to be locked. And when we look at this and we see the wrong reference here, what we don't want is red, you see. So I'm going to go to this first formula here. I'm going to look for the red one. So B8 is the red one. And remember, because we were copying across columns or copying to our right-hand side, a column was giving us problem. We need to lock it to this column. So I'm going to come here and ask myself, what's the column here? So we have B8 here. Columns are always alphabets, never numbers. So I'll go behind the number. I'm going behind the number, the alphabet B, which is the column. And I'm going to just put the $sign before, you know, the identity I want to lock. I put it before the column here. So I'm going to hit it now and copy down to update the cells that I've done before. So it's going to be the same thing. And then we're going to test it if it's going to be correct if we copy to our right hand side. And now we do it and it works fine. So just entering the cell here makes it possible for us to replicate the formula, and then it is correct all around. Now, how can we key this into our heads? So whenever you copy a formula, you know, copy to right hand side, you copy to the right hand side, what you need to lock is a column. So a column is what you need to lock. So we just say lock column. You get it? Now when you have to copy a formula down, all you need to have in your mind is that copying it down, there is likely the need to lock a row reference. You get it? You need to lock a row reference, while in this case you need to lock a column reference, you know, a column reference. Now what happens if you're going to copy down and you're going to copy across? You're going to do the two with one formula. Then you need to check very well to see which columns would I lock, which rows would I lock, and sometimes you have to do an absolute lock. Take some time to learn cell referencing and your Excel formula will become excellent.